Welcome in, everybody. It's time for Three Guys Before the Game. This is our post-BYU game review. We're all assembled.
Did you just get here? Did you just get home?
Just got back. Yeah, it was a long walk. It's a
long flight?
It was a long night for a bunch of different reasons. We're going to get into those and more coming up. This is episode 654, and it's brought to us by GoMart. Get yourself that GoMart rewards card. Download the app, really. I guess that's old school. That's analog. Yeah. Download the app immediately. Save on food and fuel. Three Guys brought to us by Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. Stunned to see how many Lou Wendell Marine pontoons were in Salt Lake when we drove by.
I bet.
Three Guys brought to us by Tudor's Biscuit World. Start your day the homemade way with a Tudor's biscuit. By Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. By Jandills, attorneys at law. They simply won't take no for an answer. And by the Conley CPA Group, providing value beyond numbers. Conley CPA will bring us spreads on stats coming up in a little bit. Brad has dissected the numbers, probably has a few more refined numbers than normal. Normally we record, 12-ish hours after the game's over, but we are doing this Sunday morning, so have those numbers kind of like matured a little bit, you think?
Yeah, they keep going, but some.
A little bit more mature. Okay, that's cool. All right, so West Virginia completes the half point of the season with a 2-4 overall record after a 38-24 loss to the Cougars of BYU. West Virginia went into the game, its first ever in Provo, as a 20-ish point underdog, and they end up losing by a score of 38-24. The Mountaineers trailed 14-zip at the end of the first quarter. They were down 28-10 at the break. West Virginia does outscore BYU 14-10 in the second half, but let's face it, for all intent and purposes, the game was decided in the opening half. We'll get into the numbers and more. Textual Healing is coming up. A lot of people made the trip to Provo.
Oh.
There was a contingent of Mountaineer fans, and a lot of them have written in about the experience that they had. We'll get into those in Textual Healing. If you're a regular of this show, you know things begin, obviously, with Hoppy's obvious observations. By the way, that is a very nice combo there. That shirt, that white with that Star City blue over that old school logo. It's pretty nice.
Thank you. Brad gave me that from Fine Looking Phil.
Yeah, I was just a delivery mechanism. Credit to Phil at Daniels.
But I did get it. I mean, just it's stuff. My swag just shows up. Like Brad we show up somewhere and Brad just throws me a shirt. Here, wear this. Okay, I got it. I like it. I wore it today for that reason.
Nice shirt.
Yeah,
sure,
nice shirt.
Absolutely. All right, so obviously, what do we know?
Well, first, it's rare that a WVU football game takes 2 days to play. It was like a cricket match, where it just like goes on for days at a time.
It did start Friday night, ended Saturday morning.
Saturday morning, I stayed up, watched, and listened to you, Tony. You had great energy right to the end. I was sagging a little bit there near the end, but I stayed with it till the end. Brad, 2 words that come to mind now, we're halfway point of the season for West Virginia. One is inconsistent, and the other is limited. The Mountaineers are limited on what they can do. You know that now, 6 games in. They are limited. And I know you'll get into the stats that back that up. And then inconsistent defensive play. We thought after a couple games this defense was going to be a strength, and now we see some inconsistency over the last couple games. Gave up a lot of big plays against BYU. So just inconsistent. And West Virginia is just not offensively, is not capable of putting together big drives. Just can't do it. They need short fields. They need things to go their way. When you can't convert on the 1-foot line, that to me was very revealing. Not that we needed a reveal of that offensive line. We know the offensive line struggles, but when you can't get in from the 1-foot line, you don't deserve to get a touchdown. And I know that maybe some people will say, well, why did you run it up the middle? Why do you run it? Well, Don Eaglin used to say that's the shortest distance to the end zone. But you couldn't get a foot. And had the game not wrapped up early Saturday morning and been Friday night to Saturday morning, I think Bear Bachmeier might have gotten more national attention. Now, maybe it's opponent adjusted, Brad, but he was solid. 351. That was a solid game by him. But nationally, the fact that it ended at Saturday morning and the national people were getting ready for Saturday, his performance probably fell through the national cracks a little bit. To be determined how good BYU is, they look pretty good, but that also is opponent adjusted. Their record needs to be opponent adjusted, but now they get into the meat of their schedule at Arizona, rivalry game against Utah, Iowa State, and then at Texas Tech. So we'll see how good BYU really is. You think they got some losses coming. Not sure what to think about Khalil Wilkins. Props to him for going out there as a redshirt freshman in one of the toughest environments you have and starting in that game and playing in that game and running the ball 23 times.
How many?
23.
Took it 23, did he?
23. In Pat White's final year with Rich Rodriguez, his junior year, Pat White averaged 15 carries a game. Wilkins goes out and runs the ball 23 times. I mean, he's got to be in an ice bath today. And I know that's because Rich wants to run the quarterback, and also how effective are you running the football? And Khalil Wilkins not very effective passing the football. So that was their best play, one of their best plays offensively. But, man, 23 times. Excellent time for the week off. UCF has to go to Cincinnati this Saturday in Cincinnati. That's going to be a tough lift for UCF. And then you go to UCF. So, I can find, we'll get into UCF, I know, next week, but I could find, despite everything I just said, I could find a couple of reasons, and I think we'll have some reasons to be reasonably optimistic going to UCF, but we'll see. So those are my obvious. Oh, one other thing. Remember last week I said that a team that is a more than 3 touchdown underdog usually doesn't win?
You did say, obviously you said that, yeah.
Yeah. Might have watched the Penn State-UCLA game yesterday.
Had a little bit of a situation.
A little bit of a situation here. So it does happen, although it is rare. Those are my obvious observations.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done. So,
Brad, any feedback on this?
I agree with everything he said.
Obviously, they're obvious points.
It continues to be the defense that surprises me, guys, because I think this program wasn't built on moral victories. I get it, but I think we've arrived at the point where you've got to try and pull some bright spots out of this. This offense is limited. I think that's a good way to say it. Probably remains limited given the totality of the group. But Wilkins showed you some stuff. I mean, Rich's offense has to have a quarterback that can run the ball. Wilkins showed you that at times. Running back, no Ty Edwards again. I mean, I know he played, but it was limited. You could tell he wasn't the same Ty Edwards. That hurts you significantly. Scotty Fox came in and threw it extremely well. So quarterback position I didn't think was bad at all. We've come to expect that from the offense. It's just struggling, and it's going to struggle. This defense, though, guys, I thought this was a pretty good defense. I realized it wasn't the 96 defense, but given what it had done early, I thought you had a chance defensively. And, man, the wait till I get into some of these numbers on this, the defense just continues to not even remotely be where they need to be.
My partner in crime, Dwight Wallace, who's watched a lot of football through the years, thinks a lot of it is, okay, once other coaches see what you're doing and, number one, what you're doing, and then who is doing it, they start to game plan for people that have weaknesses. And now what you're seeing is guys have been ID'd, weaknesses have been ID'd, and now they're being exploited.
Well, and you've gotten really no pass rush over the last 2 games, and it's 2 guys, with all due respect to Dampier and Bachmeier, have been running quarterbacks more than throwing, and they have just torched you through the air. To me, that's the biggest concern. Of all the concerns this program has right now, it's that. It's that teams have done things that they don't normally do to attack you and have done it with great success. That's a concern moving forward, obviously.
Brad, I think that's indicative of a well-coached and a pretty good team where even though they want to run the ball more than just throw it all over the place, but they see your weakness and they say, we're good enough to exploit that weakness, which is what they did.
Yeah.
I did like Fred Perry's play, though.
No, Fred Perry. I mean, he brings it. He plays.
That was a play.
To your point, obviously, if a team ever needed an off week, it is this week right now. And I think that for twofold reasons. For 2 reasons.
Yeah.
Take the fold out. One, physically, they're banged, battered, as you said. I mean, Khalil Wilkins probably needs 2 weeks just to walk straight again, right? Took a beating, and so many other guys did. One, so physically and mentally, this is much needed. On the other side of it, from an X's and O's standpoint, a perfect opportunity for this coaching staff to do a very detailed analyzation, saying to itself, okay, this is the first 6. Here come the next 6. Where are we going? Where are we building toward? We have now seen literally all 5 of the quarterbacks, and you could make the case that the 2 best quarterbacks from a visual standpoint are Khalil Wilkins and Scotty Fox.
The ones that left
Which is
standing.
fortunate because those are the ones that are left as well. So that lines up nicely.
That is
and
correct.
I agree with you. Those 2 have done the most. I think.
Now, as a staff, you're looking at it and go, okay, what are we gonna do here? Are we gonna bop both of these guys in there and do a 2-man rotation going forward? See how it looks. That probably is a good case. Ty Edwards, you would think, would be healthy, at least 100%, hopefully at 100% by that time. We did not see Sincere Bowers in the game on Friday night. Can you get him up to speed so that you can start at least the second half with the 2 quarterbacks and the 2 running backs in addition to Dior Hubbard, and at least say, okay, we've got 3 running backs, right? Clay Ash is there as well, so you could have 4. Your receiver position at this point, I mean, the only guy that has ID'd himself truly is Cam Vaughn. You can't get the ball enough to him. I mean, at this point, he's the option. And the other guys, Justin Smith-Brown has given you flashes, right? Grayson Barnes has become quieter than he was in the first couple of games. Can we find a way to get him back into a regular mix of getting that ball to him? And then on the defensive side, I think you've got to do basically the same kind of evaluation. And, everyone always says, well, these guys that are on the field, aren't doing it well, put someone else in. Again, the message is that's the best that there is. That's the best that there is. If there was anyone that would be better, then they would put him in. However, some guys are playing themselves out of the rotation, and if you're not, and it starts to become an equal, then the other people are going to get their chance. So that's where you are. It's going to be an interesting next 6 games. Like you, I think there are some opportunities for this team to win again. And now the question is, what's this next 6 going to be? Well, we look back on the next 6 games of year number 1 with Coach Rod as, hey, in the second half of the season, that you could see some signs, you could see some flickers that they were coming along. That's what you're hoping for.
Well, because think about what you're asking. You just said the 2 quarterbacks that are performing the best, and they don't have any game time, right? I mean, that was Wilkins' most significant time in his college career here. So, again, the expectation that you'll improve, that's what you're watching on that offensive side is as guys get healthy. Can Wilkins continue to show you some progress there? If that passing game comes along just a little bit, and the numbers actually weren't bad. I know there were some misses there, but when you talk about expected points added and some successful plays, they did have some successful pass plays. Could have had another one. The one time you get to Cam Vaughn with nobody around him, might have been too open.
Yeah.
Right? Might have been too open. Couldn't hold on to the football there. That would have been another touchdown. So how will that progress over the next few games?
Yeah. When you're having this kind of bad situation, the Cam Vaughn thing was kind of a microcosm of the entire game and the entire season to this point. You drop a dime and it pops up in the air, and it's like, seriously?
And it turns into a pick.
Exactly.
No less.
Exactly.
But Wilkins' willingness to run like a tailback or a fullback, that showed a lot of guts.
No, he's tough. He's tough. He passes requirement number 1, and that is you got to be tough.
Yeah.
And he is. He stuck his face in there, and that's all you can ask for. And you just hope, on the learning curve now, he can take a ton of what he's seen of himself on film as you go into the next game.
You just don't have enough. A lot of sports is about imposing your will, right?
Mm-hmm.
And are you going to impose your will, or are they going to impose their will? And you just don't have enough collectively to impose your will, Brad, on other teams.
Well, yeah, right. And along with that, there's no identity right now because you can't do what you want to do.
Right.
So you're trying to come up with things that you can do to outsmart the defense there because you can't just line up and do what you want to do. And that always makes it tough. I don't care who you are, who's coaching, what the deal is. If you can't line up and do what you want to do, you're gonna have a tough time. And that's where this offense is right now in particular.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving ahead to further action. We'll get into spreads on stats coming up here in a second. A reminder to you as the boating season winds toward its end. Still beautiful, though, here in the month of October in West Virginia. Lou Wendell Marine Sales is ready for you. Could it be post-boating season service that you need? It's Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Could you go in there maybe late this year and kind of get yourself a heck of a deal for next season as Lou Wendell has that inventory that is remaining? Visit them at LouWendellMarineSales.com. That's LouWendellMarineSales.com. The Avalon pontoon boats that they sell, made right here in the United States, manufactured here in the United States, 100% made in the United States, plus those G3 John boats. And I would imagine if you go in there now, you can get one of them rubber things that you pull on the back of the boat, Brad.
Dinghy?
One of those, what do you call those things?
That what?
You know, when you pull the kids in a little circle, tube.
Like a tube?
Yeah, tube. That's it.
Tube, raft, whatever.
I think they're probably having a lot of those there. Toward the end of the year, you probably get a good deal. LouWendellMarineSales.com. Three Guys also brought to us by Gomart. Go for good times. Go for Gomart. You know, it is the month of October, which means we're about 3 weeks away from Halloween, where Big Candy takes over. Right? Big Candy is going to be banging its chest. It's the biggest time of the year for Big Candy, and Gomart is ready with Big Candy. Get that app. They got candy specials that'll knock your socks off. And if you eat too much, maybe take your teeth out, but you'll get it nonetheless at a discounted value. Download the Gomart app and immediately save on your food and your fuel. And don't forget, on Saturdays, you get triple rewards points at Gomart. Anything new over there at the Postal Service Gomart up on the Grafton Road area?
Moving right along. No, all good.
They're all good?
I'll be in there tomorrow.
Have you figured the timing out to get your triple?
I'm getting closer. Like tomorrow, my fill-up will be on a Monday. It's each week. It's like moved closer, so I'm almost to the Saturday triple points. Kind of like the time change too. I mean, that's coming up, right? Time change, Hop.
Yeah, when is it?
Well,
it's November, isn't it?
Well,
I'll check.
Well, I'll tell you this: it's going to be pitch black at 3 p.m. coming up pretty soon. That's kind of.
You're so fouled up. You don't know what day or time it is because of your trip.
We've done some stuff. Yeah, we've been through some places. Let's do this. Time for spreads on stats. You watched it. You saw it. You analyzed it.
You dozed off.
You have not heard yet what the computers have said about West Virginia and BYU. Speaking of West Virginia, BYU, and we'll talk more about this later. Before the football game, the BYU volleyball team was here in Morgantown.
Mm-hmm. Now, what happened with that, Tony?
Nationally ranked. Well, Jen Greeny lined up, and nationally ranked BYU went home with an L.
Big time win.
Massive
big
win.
time win.
Massive win.
And what was the first ever Coal Rush game for the volleyball team?
Had a good crowd.
In all black
too.
uniforms. Yeah.
Well, we're going to be with Jen on Tuesday and other WVU coaches. We'll talk about that coming up. Spreads on Stats is brought to us by the Conley CPA Group. They are absolutely terrific when it comes to helping you and your business. Yes, they are a full-service public accounting firm, but they do so much more. They're your consultants. They're your partners walking side by side to make sure that you're using your dollars the most efficient way. They offer remote services, and they can come in there and do a little outsourcing of your accounting. They can outsource your accounting for you and your CFO services. If you need help, visit Conley CPA. You going Buddy Holly glasses on this, huh? You got it. Yeah, I'm cranked up there.
This just won't be pleasant. It's just not pleasant. So we'll stumble through as best we can. Let's start, as we always do, with a review from the preview episode, and we led guys talking about Bear Brockmeyer, and Hoppy, you mentioned his unbelievable throwing performance, but we did say in there, if you looked at the underlying numbers, that a turnover was likely. Mm-hmm. Was likely, turnover-worthy plays. Man, you got two of them.
Yes,
you got the pick, and then you got that great play by Fred Perry to get the forced fumble there to set you up in short yardage, and you
ever
get
seen
the touchdown.
That? Ever seen that before?
It was wild.
That was a play.
Hadn't seen it.
It's like a basketball
exactly
deflection.
Right.
Yeah.
He got a deflection.
Yeah.
He looked like he was out there like Honor Huff, getting his hand out there in the passing lane.
Yeah.
You know what that was? That was an athlete. That was an athletic play is what that was.
That was super.
It's unfortunate that West Virginia is able to do that, get the two plays turnover-wise that you hoped you could get from Bachmeier, and the numbers told you probably would, and you still can't get the win. That's, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that the second game now of your 4 losses where you're +2 in turnover margin? and you still lost. Same happened at Ohio U. So, Hop, some of the stuff we normally say, that just shows how limited you've been. Some of the stuff we normally say, if you do this and turnovers is number one, upsets likely follow, and they just haven't in 2 of these road games here. We also mentioned how BYU had done a great job of managing Bachmeier, where they threw a lot underneath and let the wide receivers do the work. Similar in this game. I mean, 64% of his passing yards were yards after catch. He had time to throw, made some big plays. Those receivers took off and just had all day to run back there. We talked about his success in the middle of the field, that you had to contain him down the middle. They like to attack there. West Virginia couldn't. 11 of 14 to the middle of the field for 281 yards passing. Again, I told you it wouldn't be pleasant. Just bear with us here. As we mentioned, guys, one last thing on Bachmeier. He had 698 yards passing through the first 4 games. Went for 351 in this one, so nearly 50% of what his previous total had been. And like I said, Hop, I think that's the most alarming part of this, is 2 guys that don't want to throw it first have thrown it first against you with great high-level success. So the defense has a lot of work to do here, guys. You mentioned the huge explosives in the first half. That was stunning. Finished the game at 8.3 yards per play, so you're just not going to win many games when you do that. 67% of BYU's plays in the first half came in West Virginia territory.
Ooh.
Again, winning recipe for BYU, not for WVU. 3 of 4 BYU touchdown drives in the first half. How about this, guys? 1 play, 3 plays, 2 plays. They had 21 points off 6 plays. So explosives really told the story on the BYU side of things. And Hop, we say that all the time. If you're a limited offense, you've got to be the one with the explosives, because it's hard to march down the field. BYU is the opposite. They hit you with some big plays there. BYU ended the game with a 55% success rate on all of their plays overall offensively for the game. That was up from their 49% on the year, which was already 22nd nationally. Their first down efficiency was really good, guys. They averaged 9.7 yards per first down play.
What?
Think that might help?
9.7.
No, a huge chunk of that was that.
It was. There's no doubt. It was. They picked up 310 total yards on 32 first down plays. So if you want to just compare those numbers, West Virginia was 4.8 on first down, which isn't terrible necessarily. Sets you up on a 2nd and 5 for the most part, but BYU was certainly much more explosive, as we've talked about. BYU 9 of 13 passing it for 220 on first down, 17 yards per passing attempt on first down. West Virginia, again, not bad, 5 of 9 for 82 yards when they threw it on first down, 9.1 yards per attempt. West Virginia's rushing game, as we mentioned, was bottled up. Khalil Wilkins did a nice job with overall numbers, but yards per carry, he had a tough time breaking through for any explosives. On third downs in particular, West Virginia ran it 11 times for just 27 yards, 2.5 per carry on third down. Overall rushing success rate, West Virginia's only at 32%. BYU didn't put up great rushing numbers, didn't need to. They still were more successful on a play-by-play basis, 48% success when they ran it. So line of scrimmage controlled on the BYU side of things. 7 straight quarters without forcing a punt, guys, and the first BYU punt came with 1:57 in the fourth quarter. So West Virginia almost went 2 complete games without forcing a punt. Continues to surprise me.
Punters continue to boycott West Virginia.
I've mentioned the last 2 quarterbacks a couple of times now, just to put a wrap on that, some final numbers. Nearly 600 yards passing between the two, 588. 39 of 51 combined for 76 completion percentage.
Did you say that again? What?
The 2 opposing quarterbacks the last 2 weeks, Dampier and Bachmeier, 39 of 51 combined, 76% completion percentage. It's pushed West Virginia now to the worst defensive grade in the Big 12. So, again, say it a lot. Sometimes you don't need the numbers to back up what you saw, but those are pretty alarming numbers. Here's another one that just, if you would have told me this before the game, I would have said West Virginia's in a position here to pull the upset. BYU came into this game 7th nationally in field position. They were +8 on the season. West Virginia finishes this game +10. That's the number you want. You win it 90-some% of the time when you hit that number. So West Virginia got the turnovers, which led to those short fields, which led to some points for West Virginia, but you just didn't do anything outside of that.
Average starting point for West Virginia was its 39, and BYU was its 29, like
correct.
you said. So earlier this season, we had the other aberration on that, right? We won a game.
You were minus 14 field position and you beat Pitt. So it's probably one of those you would say the numbers oftentimes even out. You become what you are. So you're 1-1 in that category. But the turnovers plus the field position advantage while on the road, Hop, if you had given me those ahead of time, I would have said you were going to be in the mix for this game. And certainly you were not. The number that continues to jump back-to-back weeks is this available yards. Utah put up just a silly 86% of the available yards they gained. BYU, another massive number, 67% of the available yards BYU got them. Second highest mark of the season. And just like last week, it's one of the highest of the last few years. So defense just continues to struggle over the last couple of weeks. West Virginia's rushing game, again, even though I thought there were some positives and you were able to do some things, in particular with Khalil Wilkins, you still ended with a negative EPR per rush for the game. And that's just, guys, in Rich's offense, you just can't have that. If there's going to be a negative expected points added on rushing attempts, that's just not positive. But you were positive EPA per dropback. Now, Scotty Fox's numbers helped this some. He came in and threw it extremely well, including that great touchdown pass. But Wilkins had a positive EPA on pass plays as well. So that's what I'm saying. The results maybe didn't look like it, but there were some positives in the pass game. Can that continue to get better? And again, the definition of EPA is the difference between the expected points a team will score before and after the play, and it considers factors like what down it is, what the distance is, the field position, and time remaining. So maybe a little positive to take out of that from the passing game side. Maybe that comes along a little bit better. And those are the bulk of the numbers from the BYU game.
You're not giving any individual grades simply because nothing there.
I mean, we can talk about a couple, but I can give you the highest ranked defensive grades, but I don't know that it matters much given what we just said. We can talk about offensive grades. This one surprised me a little bit. It was good to see this. Tykees Crawford was one of your highest graded offensive performers over at the right tackle. So we keep continuing to say it was Agbo in the right tackle position last week. It was Crawford
right.
This week. Is there just little baby steps there on that offensive line where individual guys are performing a little bit better? That's the hope moving forward. Scotty Fox came in and it didn't have a ton of snaps, but graded out extremely well in his short time in the game.
If you looked at the final numbers and you said, you have to give me some positives. You have to give me some positives. I would think one thing that was an issue earlier was penalties. Mm-hmm. And they go on the road where you could get jumpy, right? Just 3 penalties. And you didn't fumble it, but you did throw 2 interceptions. You did win, as Brad said, the turnover battle. And normally when you do that, you normally come out, on a more positive side.
And that's one. Let me stop you right there for just a second because I will give the defense credit on that. You're 14th nationally in takeaways. So from that perspective, that little niche part of the defense, that's one of the areas of expectation this year that it was going to get better in that, and they've done that. So they have taken the ball away. You've just given up too many on the offensive side. You're 125th in the nation in turnovers lost. So you haven't protected it as well as you need to. But defensively, you have been getting the ball back for the offense.
You finished up with 156 run yards. That's 3.3 yards per carry, which obviously isn't the number that you need. But you did get up to 18 first downs, and that number that you're trying to get to is 25 first downs. They, being BYU, got 22 first downs. And again, this is the absolute minutia of these numbers. Red zone scoring, BYU got in there 7 times, went 5 of 7. West Virginia only got into the red zone 3 times, and they went 2 out of 3 in the red zone.
Here would be a good stat, Brad, and that is points off turnovers.
Yeah, it was 14-7.
I mean, for the season.
Yeah.
Because you're on the plus side. Well, I don't know if you're on the plus side, but you're making turnovers, as you said, but I'm just going by
memory.
Got
0 against Ohio U. So that was the other one that stood out, right? You had 3 picks and you couldn't get it in the end zone.
So that gets back to your offensive struggles as you get a turnover and you can't capitalize on it.
Right. Yeah, and West Virginia, if you want to look at, I've been focusing on West Virginia's defensive performance and available yards, just got 46% of the available yards there. So BYU, even though it was faced with short fields more often than not, still did a better job of slowing down this West Virginia offense.
Need legal help? Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law can help you. They are a full-service legal firm started in Parkersburg, West Virginia. Still have offices, obviously, here in the state of West Virginia, but they serve clients in all 50 of our states. That's right. They specialize in the areas of veterans benefits and Social Security claims. If you or someone that you know need help when it comes to filing for veterans benefits or Social Security claims, by all means, contact Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law. We strongly recommend that you get legal help. Don't try to do it yourself, because those first-time denials are a high percentage. Staying on the topic of numbers, 88%.
Whew.
Get a no time one. So go to the experts, Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law, and they'll get you something. Doesn't cost you a penny until they collect for you. They simply don't take no for an answer. Visit Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law. See, last week we talked about RG3. He had that Tudor's biscuit. Mm-hmm. See what happened to him last week?
Yeah, glad he's okay.
He got in a bad wreck.
I didn't see that. What
happened? Yeah, in Fort Worth, spun around. Had his family with him. Fortunately, no one got hurt. That was scary. He showed some pictures on his social media post. So that was good to see. But anyway, last week, RG3, and this has nothing to do. But RG3, remember, he went to Tudor's. Yeah. And he said could have eaten two if needed. I think he's trying to watch. I mean, Heisman guy, right? Wanted to watch his figure. But he did go with one. I think we recommend one as well. And then you can take another one with you in a sack and have it for later on. But Tudor's Biscuits, over 70 locations throughout the state of West Virginia and beyond, and currently open for franchise opportunities. So if you or someone that you know would be interested in being a Tudor's Biscuit World owner, by all means, make the contact, and they will be happy to chat with you. You got a lot of stuff to sell. Those new sauces. Those new sauces are super good. That honey sriracha, that tends to be my favorite. Then the sweet teriyaki, and that Carolina Gold. That just sounds good, right?
That'd be me.
Right, probably shoot that in a shot glass, something like that. So Tudor's Biscuit World, start your day the homemade way with a Tudor's biscuit. They especially taste good in the autumn season.
So,
yeah. All right, so here's a deal.
When did you get back?
It's a late trip.
No, so serious question. When did you get back? When did you travel with the team? When did you all get back?
11 a.m.
What day?
Saturday morning.
How long was the flight?
Not that long. 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Okay, so are you going to text the guy at Utah and?
Yeah, I should. Hey, buddy, I just flew from Salt Lake to Clarksburg in 3 hours and 15 minutes. He said 4 hours. What was he doing? And which way did his pilot go? Yeah, we had some delays.
You had delays?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had delays. We had delays on the way back.
Oh, man.
We'll just leave it at that. We were on the plane for 6 hours, and we flew for 3:15.
Oh, no.
But anyway.
Sitting on that, after a loss and sitting on the plane for 2 hours?
Not ideal. That's not ideal.
Anything break out? I'd be surprised.
No, it was totally quiet. Everyone was just totally quiet.
You sat on the plane for 2 hours?
No, I sat on the plane for longer than that. We flew for 3:15. We were on the plane for 6. That's 2:45 of sitting.
Ouch,
anyway.
Ouch.
And Brad, you know this. Like when you win, it could have been 20 hours. Everyone's like, whatever, we'll get back. Got an off week.
Right.
When you don't, it's like
feels like you sat there for 12 hours.
Thank you.
Oh,
yeah, thank you. So, good time to have an off week for a bunch of different reasons, and we'll get it all straightened out, and off we go. Another road game coming up.
Yep.
I bet you'll get a huge Mountaineer. Last time we went down to UCF, huge Mountaineer fan base.
Yeah, big crowd
turned out there, so it was good.
That UCF team should have had Kansas. They had them on the ropes. Couldn't punch it in from inside the 5 there, Hop, that would have tied it or given him a chance to go for 2 to win it late, and they did that with their backup quarterback, Cam Fancher, formerly of Marshall.
Right.
And their starter got hurt. UCF's got some speed. We'll talk about that next week. Their speed scares you in space a little bit, but we'll get into that.
How's about Cincinnati? You talked about the surprise team in the league. Cincinnati said to Iowa State, "Oh, is that right? You going to do what? Come on in here a little bit." My God, are they physical?
About as big a lock on the day as there was. Cincinnati beating Iowa State.
Did you see that running back from
home favorite playing a ranked team that was the underdog on the road?
Yeah. Did you see that running back from Cincinnati hit that kid from Iowa? Safety or linebacker? Linebacker? Was he a safety?
I remember.
I didn't see it. What happened?
He came up to hit this running back, lowered his head, and my man from Iowa State went absolutely cartoon. Crumbled.
They're off to a great start. Sorsby's playing extremely well for him early. Been limiting turnovers.
See their punter, Cincinnati?
Quarterback.
Did you see the punter?
No.
You haven't seen him? Wears the shortest pants ever seen. Kind of has like mailman pants on.
Well, can't get in the way of the knee.
Knees.
Got to have knee flexibility.
Knees totally exposed. Basically covers half of his quad. Just wears short pants, like hot pants. Remember Hoppy in the 70s? They used to wear those. The Cincinnati punter wears hot pants.
Pretty soon there's going to be guys playing just with the jock strap on.
Yeah, getting closer. Getting closer.
Rocco got rocked in that game. Did you see that hit he took?
I
don't know how he got up.
I'm glad he came back in. I'm stunned he came back in a play later.
They're physical, man.
I mean, that was one of those double fouls.
Yes,
They face masked him, then targeted him. Kid gets ejected. The same kid, face masked him.
And the face mask turned Rocco's head around, and as soon as he corrected, he got it right in the face.
Yeah, he's tough. He got back up. Play later, came back in.
Time now for Textual Healing on Three Guys Before the Game. It's your opportunity to contact us at 304-404-4083, 304-404-4083. It's brought to us by our website, episode800.com, episode800.com, where you can get all of our stuff, coffee, popcorn, apparel, and with the coming winter season now, have our unbelievable selection of washer fluids available.
No, we don't have any. We had a coffee stop a couple days ago.
Yeah, we served coffee there on International Coffee Day.
Kind of served it. I mean, we
it was good.
mostly hung out. But.
Hung out, gave some people.
I passed out a few cups. You were busy talking. I was walking around handing them out.
Oh, good job.
Got good coffee, and I got good coffee in Salt Lake.
Well done.
Good coffee in Salt Lake. I went back to that place.
Yeah,
Salt Lake Roasters. It was good.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was good.
You're going to talk about probably in this. The environment will come up, and you'll talk about that. Oh, yeah,
it's in here.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Texter, by the way, this coming Tuesday, October 7, we're going to be hosting the United Way fundraising event at Touchdown Terrace at the football stadium. We are happy to announce, you're not going to be happy if you wanted to go, but we're happy to announce that it's sold out. As Marv Albert used to say, SRO, a standing room only crowd. And we're delighted. It's a fundraiser for the United Way of Monongalia and Preston counties, presented by Clear Mountain Bank and Hope Gas. The coaches for WVU, men's basketball, Ross Hodge, women's basketball, Mark Kellogg, Steve Sabins, Mountaineer baseball, and Jen Greeny, Mountaineer volleyball, and they'll each be bringing student athletes with them. The three of us will be doing interviews with those panels, coaches, and then the student athletes. We'll also have a live and a silent auction. The silent auction, I just whisper. And it's all for the United Way. If you remember, we bought a pig last weekend at the Preston County livestock auction as part of the Buckwheat Festival, and $1,000, and that was paid. And now we've added the live auction of the pork from the pig. We're going to live auction it to someone in the crowd on Tuesday night. Oh. And did you see the list of what you get?
There's a ton.
You get a ton out of that pig.
Really? That's because with a pig, you use everything but the oink. I mean, seriously, that's why pigs are so common in the world, because you can use it all.
What does that mean?
It means you use everything. It means like you can have the leanest part, the fillet part, and you can also eat pickled pig's feet.
That is true.
And you can take what's left and make sausage or
I was astounded.
Or panhas.
I would like to try to find that.
It's like 38 pounds of sausage was the one that jumped out to me.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Can you find, where was that? Was that a text or was that an email?
I don't remember.
Which,
by the way, thank you to everybody that's ordered tickets to that. That was, we appreciate that. We know it's a lot of listeners that did that, so thank you.
A texter says, since the Utah game, I've heard comments about fans not going to games due to the poor product on the field. I was at Utah. It wasn't easy to watch. So them get dominated. That said, I think we as fans have to remember, Every little thing about a program will have an impact on the future. Fan attendance, game atmosphere, just a few. That fans can have an impact on the program's image. No secret, West Virginia doesn't make the top of the list for a number of categories that are mentioned in realignment conversation, but our fan base, game atmosphere list is one of our top qualities. If we as fans want West Virginia to have the best chance at making the cut at the end of this thing, we have to do our part in making sure that the product in the stands on game day stays strong regardless of the current product on the field. Thanks for all you do. Signed by D from North Carolina.
Tony, 2 points about that you'll still end up, even on a bad day and a bad season, you'll still end up with close to 40. And those folks they make a difference. That 40 can be loud, number one. Number two is, and Brad, you know this from your marketing days, it's ROI, man. I mean, people are busy. It's expensive to take the family to a game and park and eat and all those things. And people look at return on investment.
Texter says, during Brad's rant about the time slot for the BYU game, I could not help but recall what Scott Van Pelt said after the Arizona State Bowl game, where we didn't start play until around 11 p.m. Eastern. Let me fully finish this by saying I agree with Brad. Move the games to the weekend to avoid this late start for the East Coast teams. This is what Scott Van Pelt said. If there's any fan base in America that would stay up until after the sun rises to watch its team, it's the fine folks of West by God, Virginia. It's several of those this weekend. We had some this one really stood out to me this weekend, that we had to do what we had to do. Washington flew across the country to play at Rutgers. Penn State goes all the way over to play UCLA. I just said to myself, like, I'm wondering if these conference commissioners and these TV networks are getting this great joy out of this concoction that they have created based upon what they wanted in their full inventory. It's just mindless.
And where did
it's irrational.
Duke well, those were at least during the day. I mean, Penn State fans could watch or listen to their team play during the day. Duke was in a similar situation to West Virginia. That game ended at 2:30 or so a.m. Eastern time. Those are the ones that provide hardship. And listen, I know there has to be Friday's time slots. I just think if you're going to do that, try and put the time zones compatible so it comes earlier. And I know there's a WNBA game on ESPN. I get it. I understand it. That's tough. 2:30 was late there when that game ended. Not as late as you getting back 36 hours later or whatever it was. But 2:30, I was with you, Hop. I made it. I was grinding at the end. I had my own grind. My team was grinding. I had my own grind getting to 2:30.
Were you drinking game day grind? Is that how you were speaking?
I had some later in the day than what I would normally do, yes. Yeah. I was probably caffeine-aided.
I took the
like wind-aided and Olympic records. I probably was caffeine-aided, no question.
I took the rare 7 p.m. nap.
Yeah. I did. I went pre.
Oh,
I went cappuccino, and then I went another cappuccino with an extra shot, and that was in the morning. And then at lunch, so 3 hours later, I had 4 cups of coffee at lunch.
You did.
Okay, yeah.
You had 4?
If you had stopped on that mid-morning, I don't think that you would have had a crash coming. You have to keep rolling.
Here's why I had 4, because it was this place called the Park Cafe, which was like this great recommended Utah play-by-play guy. Bill Riley said, go there. My buddy owns this place. Go here. It was one of those places, you know, when you go sit down at these cafe breakfast places that serve breakfast all day, they give you this mug, and it's a special mug. It's a mug that's a heavy ceramic mug. You get,
probably white.
Yes. And it's just like, for some reason, it's different. It has to be filled with coffee all the time, and it drinks a lot easier than just regular coffee. So you just like go like this, and then all of a sudden I go, hell, that was 4 of those things. And I go, I'm good. That's fine. Other than doing this the whole night.
Put anything in there, or just you went straight?
Straight coffee, yeah.
I listened to you the whole game, and yeah, you're despite the game and despite the hour, your enthusiasm never waned.
Well, I was overwhelmed by the atmosphere, which we'll talk about.
Okay.
3 guys, this is more historic, Hoppy. You'll like this one. The Great West Virginia Diaspora began in 1950, the year that I was born. I'm a Kimball kid, went to Welch High School, so my comments on always a West Virginia connection are limited to the southern coal fields. Our friends left by the hundreds as the coal industry for steelmaking coal contracted. They went to Cleveland and Detroit. They went to Charlotte and Birmingham. Some went to Phoenix to mine uranium. My father's supervisor went to Jamaica to mine bauxite for aluminum production. 300,000 West Virginians left. 3 generations later, this may represent 1.5 to 2.5 million sons and daughters of West Virginia now living in these and similar cities. Statistically, It should not be surprising to see a flying WV as we travel through airports or other places that people gather. Kimball was decimated when Pocahontas Fuel Company closed the Vivian mine, and the Norfolk Southern Railway closed their shops and relocated our friends to Roanoke and Jacksonville. However, in the fullness of time, it is a source of pride and warmth to hear, let's go, and know their taproot.
Yeah,
that was extremely well.
Good spreads on stats there.
That was a very good. Yeah, West Virginia's population peaked around 1950 at over 2 million, maybe 2.1 million. And since then, it's been a steady decline. We're now at below 1.8 million. But he's exactly right. People left the state. People talk about the Hillbilly Highway, but that's a good documentation of people going a variety of places. And West Virginians don't forget their roots.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget the roots. So you have West Virginia fans everywhere. We're not BYU. But we got a lot of fans in a lot of different places.
You know who's happening and getting people in the state? Tourism.
Oh, yeah.
So I hosted the final event of their tourism conference over here at the motel last week.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh.
And they had initially called for you. I said you weren't available. And I took the call. And so all the CVBs were there and it was really good. I mean, you talk about tourism, that's cranking in West Virginia right now.
You know what, too, and props to Governor Morrissey and also Chelsea Ruby, tourism director, because the federal government's closed, right? But they said the state will pay to keep the 2 national parks open at New River Gorge and at Harper's Ferry,
right,
because it's such a peak travel and tourism season.
Sure.
So a good call on their part to do that.
Yeah. Hey, guys, long time, first time. I'm out in Salt Lake City ready to root on the Mountaineers. I wanted to reach out. Thank you. My dad and I are both alums, listened to all your shows, spent the week talking about your pod and Mountaineer sports. He passed away mid-September, shortly after attending his very first backyard brawl since 2007. Talk about an epic high note. We rewatched the game many times. You three have been a part of a zealous and bonding fandom, so I thank you. P.S. I work for the Utah Department of Natural Resources, and I can confirm that all boats on the Great Salt Lake are Lou Wendell pontoons. And yes, you can navigate your pontoon from the Great Salt Lake to Utah Lake by Provo via the Jordan River.
There you go.
You didn't know that.
Did not know that.
Well, the water there pops when you're driving from Salt Lake to Provo Lake off on it. It's a wow.
What
Gorgeous.
do you mean? Just beautiful?
Gorgeous. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Did you go to Salt Lake? We didn't have time. I know you walked around the campus, but you didn't. Have you seen Salt Lake? Have you seen the lake?
Never been to the lake.
Okay.
Not the lake proper, I have not. No. Texter, hey, 3 guys, the waiting is the hardest part. Every day you see one more card. You take it on faith. You take it to the heart. The waiting is the hardest part. Could be a song there.
Yeah.
How about this? Picture, please. We'll talk about this. Had a lot of ice cream in the stands at BYU. There's one of them. There are going to be multiple of these during Textual Healing. At the end of the third quarter, BYU people served ice cream to Mountaineer fans.
Really?
Yeah. And there's just someone showing the cup of ice cream that they were delivered.
Boy, this like the nice on steroids there.
Oh, yeah. Josh from Burlington, that's Mineral County, outside of Kaiser, loved Tony's Mountaineer mash call second quarter. P.S. I would buy an infant outfit for our baby, which is expected May 21, which would be my wife and I's first, if the infant section is available. Probably need to get that on 3 guys. Get a onesie. Can we get that?
Can
on
we,
episode 800.com?
You probably sell a lot of them.
Dave.
Let homeless know.
Texter. Stephen from Eleanor. A historically bad 3-game stretch by the Mountaineer defense. It reminds me of the Phil Elmation-led defense in 2001.
Phil Elmation reference on your bingo card.
That was Rich's first year. Phil Elmation was the DC.
Yeah.
Texter, I'm practicing some patience when it comes to Khalil Wilkins throws a perfect ball to Cam Vaughn and it's intercepted. I suppose even a star player do a mishap every once in a while. With that being said, this team has played much better than last week. Rich says we will be a better team than last week. This week we will be a better team next year than this year, so on. It is incumbent on us as Mountaineer Nation to be patient. It will come. 3 guys. Dr. Ed here. We beat the spread. Defense needs to learn how to beat the counterplay. Too many runners getting past our linebackers because they're headed the wrong counter direction. But overall, I liked our effort. Now to something completely different. Here we go. BYU fans and game administrators are just top-notch. Many complete strangers see my flying WV golf shirt out of the blue sincerely thanked me for being there and wished us well.
My goodness.
The BYU band playing Hail West Virginia nearly brought a tear to my eye to know they really wanted us to be there and experience their hospitality. WVU fans need to take a note, and some need to alter their behavior towards opposing fans. Truly welcome them to Milan Pushkar. You'll feel a lot better doing that in place of chanting some rhyming vulgarity. Above is a picture of one of the ice cream delivery folks. Do you recognize him? That's our guy.
Yeah.
President Benson there. He and the texter adds, Jeff Hosteller was also out there handing out ice cream between the third and the fourth quarter.
Home turf there for the president.
Yeah. He was
pretty wild. So just everybody in the visiting team section gets ice cream.
Yeah, just bring it up there. And let me tell you something. Take a look at the size of those containers. Like, that's not like a two-scooper.
Right. That's a serving.
That's a serving of ice cream. So thanks to the ice cream folks and thanks to the ice cream folks' deliveries.
Is President Benson, is he everywhere? He might be here today.
It makes me tired.
He
makes
everywhere.
He's been all over.
He makes me tired. Like, every time I look, like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting after it.
Fort Hill Phil writes, hi, three guys, not happy, but not despondent after this one. I'm tired, but not sick and tired. The rest of the season is going to be a lab, but at least it won't be boring. We'll be especially curious to see what the final combination will be when Texas Tech rolls in to end the season. We sail forth, Fort Hill Phil. Hey, three guys. First off, as someone who has been to dozens of away West Virginia games, game day production at BYU was as good as anywhere. Combine that with the kind, almost sappy, welcome to Provo BYU attitude. It all made for a surreal cultural experience we will certainly return someday. On a sad note, not to usurp Hoppy's obvious observations, but as someone who just retired from coaching a shotgun-based offense for nearly 30 years, I cannot imagine any scenario where my team needs less than a foot and I don't go under center for the Mountaineer mash. And honestly, I was disappointed no one in postgame press corps pressed Rich on why he didn't go under center there. Methinks Dana and Neil Brown would have been directly questioned after that result. Signed by Steve in Tennessee.
Hasn't Dwight, Tony, mentioned that that's one of the weaknesses of a spread hurry-up offense is when it gets down inside the 5, you're more limited there. Has he said that?
Yeah, he has. But with this Mountaineer mash, 9 offensive lineman formation, you certainly could have done that. Didn't do it.
I don't know if on that one it mattered if you were under center. I get what Steve's saying there. Certainly a lot of people share that same sentiment. I don't know that it would have mattered. I mean, you just got blown backwards.
Yeah, you did.
I don't care. I don't know. It mattered if you're under center, shotgun, or
you
what.
saw that play, Brad, where a couple offensive linemen for West Virginia ended up in the backfield.
Yeah.
Got blowed up.
Yep.
Obviously, that incenses Rich. I mean, yeah.
He might have mentioned that in the postgame press conference about not being able to get a foot.
Yeah, because, guys, as much as tempo is a part of this, Rich has always been a guy and a coach that thrives on power. This isn't the old West Coast offense where you try and spread it out and there's not physicality. This system thrives on physicality, and it's just not there right now.
Three guys before the game is brought to us by Comax Business Systems. They have every kind of office equipment in the world. Do you hear what I said? In the world.
I heard you say that.
I mean, you need a copier that does it in Mandarin? Yeah, they got it. You know what else they have? Yeah, probably. Check it. They also have those unbelievable business system water coolers. Their new I-12. Design meets cutting-edge technology, hot water, cold water, ice storage as well. Stop being so old school with those plastic jug-a-lugs and those plastic bottles. Whether you do the 16, 12-ounce bottles for your people that work there or you do those big 5-gallon jugs, get yourself a water machine. It's filtered water. It's clean. It's cool. It's hot. It's cold. It's whatever they need. Visit them at comaxwv.com, comaxwv.com.
You probably, despite all your coffee, which I think dehydrates you, I would hope that you hydrated given the altitude.
Oh, they had drinks there.
Water.
Oh, they had drinks there.
Sugar drinks?
Sugar, Coke, everything. They had the full Monty there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I pounded water.
Did you?
Yeah. I mean, it was over the top. I mean, if my bottle of water got down past half, 7 people in there gave me 13 bottles of water.
So, Tony, and you really haven't fully fleshed out your experience.
It's coming here.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so we go.
All right.
This gentleman says, long text. Guys, I made the trip to BYU with my wife and the in-laws, and boy, I must say, I may have found a nicer fan base than West Virginia's. We could not walk 10 feet without someone stopping and talking to us, welcoming us to Provo, believe it or not, all of their West Virginia connections, with a bunch of them having lived in Morgantown or visited for various reasons. Every single one were kind and courteous. Fantastic experience with the people. At one point, one of the fans walked up to a group of 4 while we were sitting in our seats toward the end of the first quarter, and they had brought us each an ice cream. Continuing theme, definitely a place I would go to attend a game again. Oh, and by the way, Tony, did you happen to grab one of those 10-foot cougar tails that they were selling at the concession stand? Mm-hmm. There was a 4-year-old girl sitting in front of us, and the cougar tail maple bar was bigger than her. She took the Tutors Challenge and downed 2 of them in the first half,
Yikes.
which is unconscionable. It's unconscionable that she did that.
You did. You added
so these
that
are 18-inch donuts. Like, think of like an Eclair on steroids. No, that's the ice cream. But anyway, there's more of the ice cream. As disappointing, the guy says, which is surely what induced the sugar rush of her bouncing back and forth in her seat nonstop. Anyway, as disappointing as the game was, I believe I saw bright spots, felt that Wilkins was on the verge of breaking a long Pat White-esque run. Take these next 5 weeks, heal up next week. Let's steal some wins, improve in time for a final 2 test at the end of the season. We might just walk away with one of those 2. Now you go ahead, there, guys. Show that ice cream. So there is more of that ice. Now again, that's a good serving of ice cream.
Yeah, it is.
Texter, we've been to quite a few away or bowl games, but the trip to Provo topped them all. Wonderful hospitality, awesome but very challenging hiking, and an inspiring game atmosphere. Despite the distance, we are very fortunate to have BYU in the Big 12, signed by Bill in Evansdale. And he sent 5 pictures. That's a view very similar to what you look at from the outside of the stadium. And there they are now hiking in the that'd be a great Hoppy trip. Hoppy likes to do that stuff. They were hiking in those mountains, Wasatch Mountains. And then there's a bunch of Mountaineer fans that were there for the ball contest. And here is a look at the outside of the stadium at night. It had little dark clouds there. Had some precipitation throughout the course. And then that's kind of where the West Virginia section was, but it went they're pretty low to the section, but it went all the way up to the top. So thank you very, very much. So as far as in-game entertainment, again, prisoner of the moment because I just saw it, but I'm open for someone to show me a better in-game entertainment.
Really?
Dude, it was crazy. And I know they gave us a little bit extra because they had the drone show. They had these thousands of drones flying around the stadium the entire night, making various, the character of
logos
and shapes and the Y and the BYU and their mascot and just nonstop. The amount of fireworks that they explode during the course of a game from the start to the end of it, during it, I mean, I've never seen anything like it. The third quarter to fourth quarter break was absolutely as good as there is. I'm surprised I had not heard about it before. But basically, lights go off. They bring in like enough gear for a concert onto the middle of the field. They get the Cougar mascot's there. They have him on a podium. He's got this massive drum, and the stadium lights start to blink, and every time he hits that drum, it reverberates throughout the stadium, and the entire stadium in unison is raising his hands. But the thing that caught me was the entire BYU team does the same thing. Like, you can forget coaching between the third and the fourth quarter. All of the players, same deal. They're throwing their arms up, kind of like the dance, the New Zealand thing, kind of a thing. It's got a little bit of that feel. What's that called? A hoka? What is that thing where they do? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So that's happening, right? And then 4 dudes with grass skirts come out, bare-chested, and they have these lit, flaming, large
Batons.
baton type thing, and they start, right, they're dealing with those things, and and it's dark, and you're seeing that, and then here come the fireworks, here come the drones again. I mean, it is just absolute, and this is all between one quarter.
That's incredible.
It was just like, holy gosh.
You were listening to you.
It was unbelievable.
You were very taken aback. Now drones have come up. Now they're doing the cougar. Now here come men on the field with flames.
So again,
you were very into it.
Bare chested.
They're bare chested.
It was as good as I've ever seen.
And
Brad, I don't know if you know this. I've been around. I've seen some stadiums.
So isn't that okay? It's a tough place to go play football and basketball, but isn't that cool to have them in the league?
It is. It is. And I can't wait to be good again.
Brad, isn't it?
Well, I don't know.
You would forego the fireworks for a trip to Rutgers?
Give me a little Rutgers back in the league. All due respect. I like to line up now.
Give you Temple and a guy handing out pizza slices at halftime, right?
So a couple of takeaways. I mean, money is absolutely no object.
Oh,
there.
yeah. They're loaded.
I mean, money is no object.
Most
and when you have
wealthiest college in America.
Yeah. I mean, their total valuation exceeds that of the Catholic religion. And the Catholic religion doesn't hurt for dollars.
No.
Right? And so when you have unlimited resources, you can do stuff like that. They throw in the drones, like some departments, like Brad, like in a marketing meeting back in the day, like, look, we could do the drones or we could do the fireworks, but they're like, no, we do them all. We can do it all. And like their setup, their TV studio setup outside of the stadium where they do their pregame on BYU TV. Let's just think about this. They brought in Kevin Pittsnoggle, Jeff Hostetler, Philip Bowen, right? Tavon Austin. Mm-hmm. They all brought him in just to sit on their set during their pregame show. Now think about that.
Oh.
And their pregame show, equipment-wise, I mean, it rivaled any national network.
And that's not, it's not the network. It's their
network. But that's the
BYU TV setup.
It's BYU TV setup, but like
that's the brand.
ESPN, Fox, like that's the same setup. It's the same kind of crane that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's everything, full studio setup outside. Like, so money's not an object.
No.
And to Brad's concern, that's not just for equipment, ice cream, and fireworks. That's also for players.
Right. If they just spend it on drone shows and grass skirt guys with flames and give you ice cream, I'd be great. I'd be all for that.
Correct. But
it starts drifting over into player procurement, then I got a little bit of a little bit of concern
like
there.
Who knows what the number is? Who knows what the number is for basketball? But they've got the number one recruit in the country who's going to be a freshman. He'll be one and done. And the number that you hear is
DeBansta.
Yeah, DeBansta, multiple millions of dollars to get him.
Is West Virginia going there this year?
No, they're coming here late.
Okay.
The Utah is coming here and BYU is coming here late. So they're balling. And I talked with Greg Wrubell, their play-by-play announcer, and they just went full face in non-conference basketball, like they're playing boys.
Well, they should,
they should.
That's a top 10 team because remember they picked up Robert Wright from Baylor, who was Baylor's starting point guard last year, a freshman. They paid a lot to get him. Richie Saunders returns, an all Big 12 player. That might be the best trio in this league.
Yeah,
those three, they're going to be a challenge. So again, spend more on ice cream, please. Less on the players. Here's one. Can I give a quick shout out here?
Absolutely.
We haven't heard from these guys in a while. Remember the guys? Who? Well, remember the fellas that I had that issue with my lawnmower that was unsolvable.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you just so unique, couldn't figure it out.
Right? I mean, when you forgot to charge the battery?
I mean, really unsolvable until the guys came up. Jason and John, they helped us out. But
where have those guys been?
Well,
are they okay?
Yeah, here's where they've been. They don't just repair lawnmower problems that are impossible. They build race cars and then race them, like drag racing. Listen to this text I got.
Okay.
Are they okay?
They're more than okay. Jason tells me they finished their last race last weekend. They have set 2 national records 2 races in a row, and now become the first ever 10-time national championships. No one had ever won more than 7 on their circuit. No one had ever won more than 7. That was them.
Just straight drag racing?
Yeah, broke their own record
of
now 10 world championships. 2 national records in the last 2 races. Pretty good.
That is
So that's
very
where they've
good.
been. That's what we
Well, I
haven't
was
heard from
starting to get worried about them.
They'll be up for the homecoming game.
They're
been
coming.
busy.
Season's over now?
Been busy winning world championships.
So you got Dale Blaney in the last show, wins the Outlaws at his age, right, oldest ever, and you got these young sparks, right? These guys fixed your lawnmower that
Just a
time.
dynasty. I don't know how they fixed it. It was remarkable.
Well,
Well,
what they
it was
did was they said your battery was dead. That's what they
remarkable
did.
fix by these guys. So it's not a surprise. They come and fix that thing, diagnose the problem quickly, Kirchville, and then build world-class
the
race
battery
cars.
was dead. It wasn't.
Unsolvable issue.
It took world champion racers to come in and fix Brad's lawnmower.
That's what I'm saying. By the way, it's broken again.
Is it?
Yeah, it's broken all season.
Did charge a battery?
Don't
Yeah,
even
it is.
start. He's absolutely incompetent.
Won't start?
I won't.
Don't start.
Are
Listen,
you mechanically just not inclined?
he
or-
couldn't
No,
turn
I
on
tried.
his
I did a lot of
car.
things.
I do other things.
Yeah, but I tried. Changed the spark plug, did some things.
change the spark?
Filters, new filter. Did a lot. I went through the checklist of things that don't start. Gas was in it.
With no game this week for the Mountaineer football team, we will return later this week. We will discuss the announcement that's forthcoming from West Virginia's athletic department regarding the scholarships of the program and its future. We'll have that as a topic on our next episode of Three Guys Before the Game.
We have a guest?
We may. It's possible.
Efforting?
We'll have to see how things work out. But we'll have details and information. Plus, we'll spend some time on hoops, Brad. We're getting close.
We're getting close.
World champion Mountaineers are going to be having their closed scrimmage coming up a week from this Saturday
can I
here
go?
in Morgantown
You can't say
against
when it is.
Maryland.
You can't say when it is or who they're playing.
Playing 17th, they're going to have Maryland here.
Can I?
No.
We still
I shouldn't have
can't.
said that, darn.
I still haven't gained access.
It's not open.
We'll get you in there. Maybe we'll have you as a
You
referee.
had the date wrong, too. It's not
18th, whenever the football game
I
is.
don't know.
Three Guys brought to us by
Can't
Gomart.
say it.
Get a Gomart rewards card. Go to Gomart.com for the details. Buzz Williams inside the practice facility. That'd be interesting. See if he steps on the logo there. Three Guys brought to us by
If
Lou
that's in
Wendell
fact who
Marine.
they're playing, you can't say who they're playing.
Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. By Tudor's Biscuit World. Start your day the homemade way with a Tudor's biscuit.
Mel Turpin going to be there for Maryland.
By Comax Business Systems.
Adrian Branch.
Jack Marin, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. John Lucas. Three Guys brought to us by
Might not be
Jan
Maryland. I don't know
Dills,
who they're playing.
attorneys at law. They won't take no for an answer. It's Maryland. And by Conley CPA Group, providing value beyond numbers. Special thank to Braden and Zach, our producers
Zach's in today.
of this episode. And we're back again later this week. And we'll just talk about stuff. Plus, we'll recap our Moving Mountains United
That'll be
Way
fun, yeah.
fundraiser. We'll give you a whole recap on that there deal. Have a good day. Proceed on. Three Guys. Over out.